John Jones recently, before we wrap up this hour, John Jones went ballistic in a pre-game fight news conference. Carlin, what do you make of that? Is the fighter he's fighting getting under John Jones' skin?
Well, yeah, I think clearly he has. I mean, Daniel Cormier is an Olympic-level wrestler. When this fight happens, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's definitely throwing another level of hype on this. I don't know how much I like this. I don't like the pro wrestling shenanigans. We saw Jones kind of walk up and put his head on Cormier's forehead. Cormier pushed him back, and then John Jones started swinging. They fell off the stage, and they're at a public hotel. I think public safety has to become an issue there. What if they had landed on some kid that was hoping to get an autograph from John Jones or Cormier or something like that and had injured somebody? It's not a good look. Rather, we're talking about optics. I don't think it's going to hurt the event short term. In fact, there's much more people talking about the event than there was before. But long term, it's just going to be another bullet in the gun of people who hate mixed martial arts, or people who want to decry them as thugs and criminals and whatnot. If someone uneducated and just who wants to make MMA look bad in the wake of the War Machine thing or whatever else say, and then this is UFC's own champion just beating up people at hotels and whatnot, it's not a good look. It's not good optics. I don't think there should be any contact between the two fighters prior to the fight. That's what I think, and I think that again, this is not going to hurt them short term. I don't know. I would think that they're going to be fined. I think that'll be the extent of it. But John Jones, I think what we may be seeing here is the second act of the three-act play of John Jones, much the same way that we saw the second act of Mike Tyson and Tony. Talking about what a great guy he was, American as apple pie, helping old ladies, across the street, saving them from muggers, this kind of thing. It was a lot of the same way they tried to make Mike Tyson look like, the great story about how Customato saved him from the streets, and he raises pigeons. He likes to read poetry and stuff. Then all of a sudden, the second act came around. And Mike Tyson, was convicted of rape, served time, and from there, a string of incidents. There's just we can't name them all with Mike Tyson, and we've finally seen it kind of come the other way, where he's kind of a redemption story. I think this is John Jones and his act too. We've already seen him with the DUI, where he had two women in the back of his car, had DUI charges from that. When he was on ESPN afterwards, he said, "Oh, I apologize so much for my actions, da 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 da." But he did not realize that the mic was hot earlier. When the first thing, as soon as he put the microphone in his ear, he was told that him and Cormier were going to be on the segment. He said, "Are you there, pussy? Are you there, pussy? And I'm going to kill you. I am going to literally kill you." And we saw after the incident there, he was standing on a razor going, "Yeah, yeah." And for him to just turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry about my actions." No, you're not, John Jones. No one is buying what you're selling at this point. But I think we are seeing more and more the real John Jones, and it may not be a pretty picture.
Interesting. So who do you like in the fight then?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a great fight.
Cormier seems to be getting under, he's just really needling John Jones.
He is, and Cormier's wrestling, he is the best wrestler that John Jones will have faced to this point. The key is the reach, though. John Jones' reach is, we see the background there. He could almost say hit Cormier from where he's standing there. I mean, his arms and legs are so very long that Cormier is going to have to eat one or two to get in there and try for those takedowns. Is he going to be able to do so? We're going to have to find out. But I think if Cormier can actually get in successfully on the inside, he can do some real damage, and it's going to be a very entertaining fight.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, John Jones is a well-known name, and I think Cormier is making a name for himself. You mentioned how you've got all this build-up and, what's real, what's not. Maybe it's for promotion, but it's working, right? It is working. Whether you like the stunt or not, it is working.
But George St. Pierre never had to do stuff like this. George St. Pierre...
A lot of people accuse him of being a boring guy, though.
Well, if he's a boring guy, why do all his fights do 900,000, a million pay-per-view buys? He is the pay-per-view champion. If he's so boring, why do people over and over and over again pay $59.95 to watch him fight? And you think about lead-ups to fight. The lead-up between GSP and Nick Diaz was fantastic. They were all over the place verbally, going back and forth against each other, but it never descended into the physical. And I think that's what the key is here. I don't care how much talk you do before a fight, how much crap you're talking before a fight. That's, by and large, some of it has its place. I can even say that. But, this was just, to me, totally WWF type shenanigans. I don't want to see someone grab a chair and jump into this. I don't want to see, like the honky tonk man grab a guitar and get involved here. I mean, Daniel Cormier, when this whole thing was done, he threw a shoe. Who throws a shoe? Really? Is this Austin Powers?